this on? She is. Because I'm going on here. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. It's almost 2 p.m. I hope all of you guys are having a great day so far. We are continuing to do our Instagram lives, highlighting certain people that are using their platforms to help other people, to give back, to find ways to impact people that are struggling during this time. And today at 2 p.m., which is in a minute or two, we will be talking with Wolfgang Puck, Chef Wolfgang Puck, who I'm really excited to talk with, that has a large business background, owns tons of different restaurants, was an immigrant coming over here from Austria, and is going to talk to us about how his companies are dealing with this, how they're pivoting, how they're kind of helping their employees with the PPP program, small business loans. Yes, I shaved. I probably look a lot younger. So I'm excited to talk with him. I don't know where my mom is. When she comes over here, we'll get started. So what did Judy just said? Marcus Lemonis was so helpful to the small business. Yes, he was great to talk with last week. He's super smart on business and everything with the PPP program, small business loans. I mean, he's a owner in over 100 different companies. So Wanda, you said she's on live, so I don't know what she's doing. Let me get her 1 second. Mom!
Okay,
I don't know what you're...
Patrick.
What?
I don't know how to request to come to you.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it, so I was explaining to everybody.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye. Okay.
That's why I said you don't go on your...
Okay.
So...
Okay.
Hello, we're back. Delete.
Hi.
So, yeah, you can do that.
Hi, everybody. I'm Maria, and I'm Patrick's mother, and I'm on his account because I didn't know how to do the other thing.
That's how you do it.
I still don't know how to do it. Okay, so I'm learning something new every day. My daughter Christina is also here. Oh, Patrick.
Dana, I have your phone.
You have my phone.
Yes.
Okay, and I have your phone. Woo!
Right.
Okay, so I was explaining to everybody that today we're going to be doing Home Together on your account. And
yes, I'm coming into the kitchen right now.
Okay. This is all very technical. I want to remind everybody on your account that today is Earth Day. Earth Day. It's a day to give thanks to the earth, our common home. And it's a day to celebrate the earth and all its beauty and how to protect the earth. So we're here on, oh wow, you have a lot of people on your account.
Me?
Yes, you have a lot of people joining us.
Well, we'll see. Maybe they're excited to watch Chef Wolfgang Puck and to talk about his business and his restaurants and everything that he's kind of going through right now and trying to convince the president to help small businesses and in particular small restaurants. So I'm
and fine dining.
Yeah, and fine dining. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So I'm not sure if he's on yet or not. We can check.
So I've known Wolfgang.
Oh,
there
yes,
he is.
Oh, Chef Wolfgang Puck on time.
Gosh, wow. I hope we're not going to have to speak in German today.
If you guys have any questions, you can ask questions below.
Hello.
Grüß Gott.
Oh. Something you learned.
Hello, wie geht's?
Wie geht's?
How are you doing?
I'm, considering personally I'm healthy. So thank God my family is healthy and well, and safe. So that's really, and our employees seem all happy and safe everywhere from here to Singapore in the Middle East. So that's really the most important part. Now, business is a different story. Our restaurants, except for Spago and Chinois, basically are closed. The Bel Air, we do a little takeout also, but Spago does takeout and Chinois does takeout. If not, in London or in New York, we are closed everywhere. So it's really a very, very difficult time. And I don't know how we're going to actually go through that. it's one thing. Now we are closed and we have the payroll protection plan where we're going to get government money. I didn't get it only for one restaurant down in Florida, which we just opened. We didn't get it for other restaurants. I have a lot of young chefs, a lot of friends, people who worked for me. They had to close down. They ran out of money and they didn't get anything. And, you know, on the other hand, you saw these big brands like Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Right. They got $20 million. And the little restaurant or bar around the corner, they are waiting and they are waiting. And I think that's really the plan. I mean, it's great, the plan, the way they set it up, but the way people got in line. And, you know, the big companies, they have their lawyers, they have their accounting. So right. Obviously they filled out the papers really fast. And a little restaurant, you know, by the time they go to their accountant or find a lawyer to fill out the application, the money was gone. So it's really a crazy time for especially these small independent restaurant people.
Right. Well, first off, we want to thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. We've been trying to use our Instagram lives to highlight people that are using this time right now to help others, to impact others. And that also are business owners like yourself, and talking about how they're shifting and pivoting during this time. And I think you're super unique because we can talk to you about how you're changing your business, but more importantly, you're using your platform to try to get in touch with the politicians, with lawmakers in Washington, D.C. to try to help these small businesses and not just. Totally. Yes, exactly. So talk about that a little bit of what are you trying to do and how is this impacting the small businesses?
A few weeks ago, we were on the telephone with the president and with a few other chefs, you know, Thomas Keller and Daniel Boulou and Jean Georges from New York. And we are trying to figure out how can we get some money to these small restaurants, which we are basically all closed down, you know. And we actually thought at the beginning, when we talked to him, I said, you know, we pay business interruption insurance for the last, for me, like 38 years, you know, right. Every year. Now we have a business interruption. Yeah. It's really not the virus directly who shut us down. It's the government who shut us down. But right. The insurance company says, sorry, the insurance is not for the virus. Sorry, we don't gonna pay. So I think, and we tried with the president to have, in a way, an effort to have the insurance companies pay up, and really send the money to the people who need it for business interruption. But, you know, they said, sorry, you don't have insurance for that. So it was bad. And then I'm trying to get now with him a business stimulus plan. You know, in the old time when Jimmy Carter was president, he got away with his 3-martini lunch and you cannot deduct any meal expenses. Now, this is all so good. It looks so socialistic, maybe, but it's really bad. Because when you think, if somebody drinks a bottle of wine in our restaurant, well, up in Napa Valley, you have a guy who works on the fields, who tends to the vineyard, one guy or people who make the wine, who bottle the wine. So you have a lot of people there working. And if nobody drinks the wine, you know, they don't gonna be working either.
Wolfgang, what did the president say to you when you brought up that you had been paying this insurance as many other restaurants around the world had been paying? When you brought up these concerns, what reaction did you get?
I think he really said he's looking into it, but then he came out with this payment for a payroll protection plan. So instead of really holding the insurance companies accountable for it, and, you know, if we sue the insurance company, when we're going to get the money? It's the lawyers who are going to get all the money, especially if you're a small restaurant. So it's really complicated. And I think the idea of the payroll protection, the PPP, is great. But if it doesn't go to the right people, I know big construction companies which are still building, they got money too, you know. And, and we as a group, as restaurants, you know, we are the biggest employer in the United States after the government. Right. We employ 15.6 million people. And in a way, they should say, wow, there are so many people working in restaurants. Let's take care of this group. This is an important group. But in a way, we don't have a lot of power. When I look at the teachers union in California, how much power they have, and there are not that many, you know, and I think, you know, they almost elect the governor. If you're not friendly with them, you might never be the governor. So here we are as a group, and I'm trying to figure it out. How can we get more politically involved, that we have a bigger voice in Washington or a bigger voice up here in Sacramento? And I already think, I'm thinking about the opening of our restaurant. How are we going to open? Well,
Right.
we need testing. We want our employees to be safe. We want our customers, our guests to be safe. So when do we gonna get something which we can pay maybe, where we can test the employees and the guests can be tested too? Maybe in their house, maybe we have something in a restaurant. It reminds me a little bit after 9/11 when they installed the security at the airport, you know?
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was a hassle. I remember standing in line and getting through the TSA line.
Right.
But now we are used to it. We are doing it. So maybe the new normal will be, there will be some detection of it, temperature, whatever it is, that people feel safe. Because I don't think people will come to our restaurant if they don't feel safe.
Right. That's the tough thing about restaurants is even when the economy does open back up, will the customers feel safe going there? And as you know more than anybody, the occupancy and how filled your restaurant is has so much to do with your margins and how you operate a business.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, you know, they say we're going to open 50%. You know, we have to take out tables. But if we only open 50%, I only can rehire 50% of the employees too. So
Right.
there's still going to be so much unemployment. And when you look at Spargo, for example, here in Beverly Hills, we have 160 employees. So all of a sudden, if business is not there, I'm going to start with 60 employees. And,
right. And you still have the rent.
Yeah.
You still have the rent.
Totally. So I think we have to negotiate a new rent. We have to decide who's going to be working. Do I know that one of our prep cooks has 4 kids at home in school and everything, and he might not have a job? So it's going to be really a crucial time. And we also asked the president to continue the payroll protection plan after we open for the first 3 months. So if we open a restaurant, a small business open a restaurant, for the first 3 months, they get the money from the government. They get the payroll reimbursed. So that way, we actually can open and employ people, because that's what it's all about. How are we going to...
Wolfgang, several governors have said they're going to slowly begin to open some restaurants, some economies. Are you looking at certain states where you are as a place to try to test the opening of some restaurants?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a restaurant in Georgia or in Carolina, you know, so they are the first one who are opening up. I think what we have to do is learn from them, how they did it, what did they do wrong, how it's going to change the way the virus, or how many more people are going to get infected, and hopefully less people get infected. Because in a way, we all want to get back to normal, you know. But what is the new normal going to be? It's really difficult, you know. And I think what I would like is the governor, and Maria, maybe you have an influence with the guy up in Sacramento, since you know the town very well. How about if the governors would, okay, the most important thing is testing. Let's figure out how can we get enough equipment that we can test the population. And everybody has the same voice. Everybody talks about the same thing. Instead of haggling around with everybody, I got more mask and I don't get this and I got that. Let's find a solution so we can get this country on its feet again.
What about like your takeout business? How has that been impacted? Have you felt like that's done better? Has that also been impacted? You mentioned takeout earlier, but what about like the other parts of your business? Because you're ultimately a business owner.
Yeah. So if I look at Spargo, the takeout, we do okay. You know, we have so many regular customers over the 38 years we are opening, and new ones. So we do pretty well. Some of our guests are so generous, and like a few of them wrote a good check. Like one lady, Eva Elkins, She wrote a check for $5,000 and says, give that to your employees. You know,
Wow.
I enjoyed your restaurant so well over so many years. I know they're all suffering. So we have people like that who are really, really nice. I have a guy, Paul Puccino, he comes once a week and leaves a tip for $1,000 on a $150 check for the employees, because they said, I want you to stay open. I want these people to be able to go to work. Now, you know, we are open also at Chinois in Santa Monica for takeout. I still have to tweak the menu there a little bit. It's difficult because we have DoorDash there, and DoorDash charges you 25% on top of the price. Mm-hmm. Now, this is okay for a fast food restaurant. But, you know, in the luxury restaurant, in the upscale restaurant, the food is expensive. Lobster or lamb chops are very expensive. So if they make the money and we don't make any money, so we have to figure a better way to deal with them, maybe make meals for a better price. So if you said, you know what, I want Chinois style food, but you are young and you have your girlfriend over. I don't know if Maria knows that or not, but... and you said, okay, I want to have a taste of Chinois, but I don't want to spend $100. I only have $60, you know, but you still can get an incredible meal. So I'm working on really a more price-conscious menu, hopefully attract more young people. So you tell all your friends, call Chinois soon.
Yes, I definitely will. So going back to what you were saying earlier, you're talking so much about how these small businesses are really struggling and they're not getting the attention of these loans. What do you suggest to some of these owners right now of these ma and pa style restaurants? What can they do?
Well, I think it's really, they are having another $250 billion, I think, so made available. If they didn't put in their application, you know, sitting on your butt and not doing the application, you don't gonna get you any money. Then you cannot cry and say, I didn't get it. Put in your application and talk to your bank and make sure that you're gonna get the money. You know, that's one thing. The banks deal generally with the bigger customers first. You know, if you own 50 restaurants or 50 businesses in one town, you know the president of the bank, you know the main people. So they might put your application on the top. If you're a little guy who does $1 million or $2 million a year, they might look at you and say, okay, it's not that important. So you have to really pressure them.
Wolfgang, you've been in this business a really long time. You mentioned 9/11. You've been through the recession. Yeah. Are you hopeful that the restaurant business can bounce back? Are you confident that you and all your colleagues will find your way through this and come out the other side?
You know, I really hope that enough people will find their way back. You know, there are 700,000 independent small restaurants in this country. And I think the National Restaurant Association, I think, said something like 15% of them will never open again. You know, so which means how many millions of people maybe have no job afterwards. What they're gonna do? You know, the hotels have no occupancy. You're not gonna get a job in a hotel. You're not going to get a job in an airline. So everybody, you know, is letting people go. So hopefully, I think with the right stimulus, that people will go to restaurants afterwards. But first and foremost, we have to feel safe. There is no doubt about it. Like after 9/11, everybody was scared to fly. You said, okay, I'm not going on a plane. Are you crazy? People used to tell me, you're crazy, you're going on a plane. And I always went, but you know, you have to feel safe.
Right, 100%. And so, you know,
that's
you have
why,
so much.
Patrick, you're staying at home with your mom. I can see that.
Yes, I know. It's been great to be able to hang out with her and spend time with her. We've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and definitely order
We're
from
gonna order
your
Spago.
Spago. Yeah, maybe tonight. That sounds delicious. One of the questions I have is you mentioned in the beginning, and so much news has been around the idea of Harvard taking these loans, Ruth Chris, Potbelly, these super large industries. You have so much influence in this space, in business and in restaurants. Have you thought about calling up these larger businesses and finding ways to give it to these large loans that they're getting to help out smaller businesses? I mean, we saw yesterday Shake Shack said that they're now returning their loan.
Yeah. You know, we were on a phone call actually originated with the National Restaurant Association this morning. And a lot of the big brands like Bloomin' and Darden and you name them and Chick-fil-A, they were on the call too, you know. And I told them, you know, it's really difficult for me trying to fight for the small guys and having then you with me too, who have such a bad PR problem now. You know, you guys all took the money, and now how are you going to help the little guys? And I said, you know what? If we go as a group and we figure out a way and present it to the president or to the whoever it is, or to the administration, and say, we are all in the same boat, we have to help the little guys. Sure enough, Darden or these restaurant groups or like Chipotle, when you look, their stock is at $350 or more, and it's, they do 25, they're worth $25 billion. Well, nobody out there gonna shed a tear for them, you know, but what about the little guys? And I think often it is sad to say in the greatest country in the world, which we are, but we forget about the little guys, you know, and I think that's really so sad to see. And when I look around and drive through the street today and you look at all these things where they have the barricades in front and said, I always said, are they ever gonna open again? What will the landlord do if they don't get the money? They're going to get kicked out maybe. Who knows what will happen to so many businesses, not only restaurants. I go to the farmer's market and I talk to the guys and the same thing. I said, you know what? If your salad or your strawberries are ripe, but you can't sell them, you have to leave them in the field. How are you going to send your kids to school if you have no money to pay for their books or their shoes or whatever? And a lot of the small farmers depend on their crop, their seasonal crop.
Right. So Wolfgang, if there are small business owners, and there are many on here who haven't gotten the money, who don't really know what to do, should they contact you? Is there an organization they could contact? Is there anybody that's speaking for them that they can, you know, put their voice behind other than the restaurant association?
You know, the best way is go to your local bank. If you use a bank and then they have the application, you have to go through the bank, you know. But
that's for the money. That's for the money.
Yeah.
But what about just kind of having a political voice? What about, you know, if they say, I'm just one small restaurant, Wolfgang Puck has more power than me, can they join forces with you?
Absolutely. We actually have a website called We Are Big. We Are Big as a group, you know, so they can go on that website and sign up with it. And I think the more people who will sign up, the more powerful we will get. And the National Restaurant Association is not really politically involved, but I think we have to get involved into politics, because if not, nothing gets done. You can write letters to the congressman and there's thousands of people probably write them letters. So we have to be a force to be reckoned with, because then people will pay attention.
We are big.com or wearebig.org.
It's big.org or big. Okay, well, she will check it.
Okay.
And
so anyway,
just let us know and we'll put it up after.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. But you know, when I talked to the president and I told him that we represent 15.6 million people, it got to his ears. He said, "Paul, said, shit, these people are going to vote for me maybe, or maybe not, you know?"
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody in politics works for re-election, basically.
Right.
And I think after that, he really listened to us. The president really listened, and we were on the phone with him for maybe 40 minutes. And he said, like when I told him about the stimulus program, and he said, it's a good idea. But he knows he also owns hotels where they have restaurants and everything. And he is probably a businessman, not a politician. But he understands that there need to be something of a stimulus to get restaurants going again. And we are such a big employer. How else could we actually have a power if we are not all together? And I think I'm just a little worried getting involved with the big guys, like the big brands, you know, because they have a bad PR problem now, because they took the money before they take it to the little ones.
Well, Wolfgang Puck, we want to thank you so much. You're the epitome of the American dream. You came here, you've made a big name for yourself. You've brought so much joy to people. You've employed so many people. So it's good to know that you're out there working on behalf of all of the restaurants, big and small. People can join you or put their voice to We Are Big, wearebig.com, I guess, or .org probably.
It's okay. I'm gonna tell you they can go we, the letter R, we are big, BIG, .org.
So
Perfect.
See, I know my way around in the kitchen better than on the computer. I'm sorry.
I think I got it. I'm gonna comment in the thing.
We'll put it up. wearebig.org, and that way people can join with Wolfgang. They can join with other restaurant owners.
Thomas Keller and Daniel Boulou and George. So, and now there are like thousands of restaurants already on there too. So it's really big. I think it really is getting bigger. We just started 2 weeks ago, but I think what I really want in the future, that us as a group are also a group which people in Washington gonna listen to.
Yeah, well, that you have to get organized because you're right. There's many.
We're gonna hire you as the president of our organization.
Okay, well that's okay.
We need a strong woman to do the job.
Amen. Yeah,
okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Wolfgang.
Thank you so much.
We've known each other for many years. God bless you. And thank you so much.
Yes, can't wait to order from you later.
Thank you. Thank you, Wolfgang.
Ciao.
Yeah. So that's good. We are big.
We are big.org. I pinned it.
You pinned it. I saw you. You were trying to figure out how to pin it.
I was trying to figure it out.
We are big.org. There comes Christina talking while we're on the air. Talking.
Of course.
She and Abby Champion just walked right into our live broadcast.
As always. But anyways, we hope that you guys enjoyed that conversation. As always, we're trying to continue to use our Instagram Live and our Instagram platforms to highlight and interview other people that are utilizing their platforms to give back, to help people, to be impactful during this time. And Chef Wolfgang Puck is certainly one of those people. He is a large employer, a large business owner, and he is finding ways right now to help small businesses, which is such a backbone of America. And like he said, 15.6 million people, the second largest employers in the whole country. So it's so important that we help these the restaurant industry, and most importantly, those small restaurants, the mom and pop size stores, the ones that are just around the corner from you and don't have a large corporation or aren't public and everything like that.
I liked the way he talked about on Earth Day. I thought it was great to have a chef, and the way he talked about the farmers and the produce that we grow from the earth. California, where we are, is an agricultural state. Mm-hmm. But when he talked about the wine you drink and the food you eat, somebody is picking that, somebody is delivering that. And all of these people obviously are impacted. So when you do order out or order in, you do support in some way these local restaurants. And we had Guy Fiore on here who is working to raise money for restaurant workers. Wolfgang is working on another end of that. So there are a lot of people out there trying to help. And I think he's smart to say that they need to get more political in the future if they want to get through these times more organized as a group. But we're going to be back on your account on Friday with Mark Cuban.
Yes, we'll be interviewing Mark Cuban on Friday, which will be amazing. I mean, he's been so outspoken about this whole, the coronavirus, about the economy, the economic effects. I think he was the first person to come out and say that even before the stadiums were shut down and the sport teams were put on pause, he said that he'll make sure that everybody that's at the Dallas Mavericks Stadium will continue to get paid, will continue to have a job, that when they're back open, they will be all employed. So he is someone that I've looked up to my whole entire life. I've always been a big fan of him, and I'm a massive fan of Shark Tank, as you guys know, which he's one of the guest judges on. So I'm excited to talk with Mark about how all of his restaurants and businesses and his sports team, everybody's pivoting, and what kind of outlook he has on the economy for the next few months.
And we'll be talking to the holistic psychologist tomorrow on my account, on Maria Shriver, and that's about relationships. And I'm really excited to talk to her. So it's interesting what we get excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to talk about relationships, about, you know, parenting, loving, connecting, making sure that we communicate properly. And then we'll be back over here for business on Friday. So we're trying to cover all the bases. We're trying to help in all the different ways. And we want to thank you all for staying at home, doing your part. And also, once again, happy Earth Day. And we'll all do our part to take care of this beautiful Earth that we all share. So have a wonderful day.
Thank you, guys. See ya. And I'll keep this on my story so you can watch it again.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And now.